When I think of a painting contractor, I'm picturing drop cloths, ladders, maybe that distinct smell of fresh primer.
Yeah.
I am definitely not picturing large language models
Right.
or generative AI.
It feels like two completely different universes, doesn't it? But looking at this material from Samyak Online, those worlds are, well, they're colliding head on.
It's a pretty wild mix.
Yeah.
So for this deep dive, our mission is to figure out how a simple painters near me search has sort of turned into this high-stakes conversation with bots like ChatGPT and Gemini and Perplexity.
Hmm.
And we're digging into the work of this agency, Samyak Online, to understand that shift.
And the shift is massive. I mean, the source material makes it really clear. The goalposts have completely moved. It used to be all about traditional SEO.
The 10 blue links on Google.
Exactly, getting your links to rank. But now we're getting into the era of AI SEO.
Which brings us to this alphabet soup in the notes, AEO and GEO. I admit, my eyes kind of glazed over for a second.
I get
Answer engine optimization and generative engine optimization. Is this just marketing speak, or is there a real difference here?
No, it's a real functional difference. Think about how you use Google now versus, say, 5 years ago. You don't just type painter.
Right, I'm having a conversation with it. I ask a full question.
You ask a full question, like, who is the best painter for a nursery with low VOC paint? And that's where GEO comes in. The engines use machine learning to understand your intent.
The intent behind the search.
Yes, they're not just matching keywords anymore. They're figuring out if you're a frantic homeowner or a commercial property manager. If you're a local painter, you want to be the answer that Copilot or Google AI Overviews just serves up.
So to be the answer, you need more than a homepage that just says, I paint houses.
Oh, way more. And this gets to the idea of semantic SEO that Samyak talks about in their strategy. It's all about context.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Well, imagine a spider web. If your site just says painter, that's like one loose thread. But if your site connects painter to stucco repair, epoxy finishes, and historic restoration, you're building a whole web of meaning. You're proving to the AI that you get the entire job.
You're building authority, which is huge in this industry because, let's be honest, letting a stranger into your house to paint, that requires a ton of trust.
That's the whole ballgame. Samyak Online leans so heavily on this idea of EEAT.
Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Right. And it's not just a nice to have anymore. It's a digital survival trait. If you can't prove those 4 things to the algorithm, you are basically invisible. The AI wants to recommend someone safe.
But here's the thing that got me in the Samyak Online case studies. Most painters are great at painting, not at schema markup or, what was it, fixing technical debt.
That's the friction point. And that's how Samyak positioned themselves as this offshore partner in India, but serving clients in New York, London, Sydney to handle that very specific technical work.
I was reading that testimonial from Jaime Nakag in the U.S.
Yeah.
He was really upfront about it. He said he was hesitant to use an offshore team.
Which is a common concern, right? Quality control, communication.
For sure. But he had this Joomla website, which can be a nightmare. And he said Samyak spent 5 months on what he called tedious work to fix it.
I loved that detail. 5 months of tedious work. It just shows you there's no AI magic button for this.
No.
They had actually go in, fix the code, optimize mobile speed, and build the structure so the AI could even read it properly.
And it worked. He said his SEO scores all went into the green zone. It wasn't instant, but it was effective.
And that backs up the other client they mentioned, Becca Hansen. She said there wasn't a project they couldn't tackle, so Samyak's role seems to be translating the physical skill of the painter into data that the machine can actually understand.
Bridging the gap between the paintbrush and the algorithm.
Precisely. They're doing things like before and after showcases, but tagging them in a way an AI sees as proof of competence.
So we're really building a world where algorithms are the primary gatekeepers for hiring manual labor. You don't get the job unless the bot trusts you first.
It definitely streamlines things for the customer, but yeah, it raises a really tough question for the industry.
I was thinking about that too. What happens to the master craftsman? The person with perfect brushwork who shows up on time, charges a fair price, but has absolutely zero semantic data footprint.
In the eyes of the AI, he just doesn't exist.
That's a haunting thought. He's ghosted by the machine. Something to think about the next time you ask a chatbot for a recommendation. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.